Hi everybody, hope you're all doing well and ready for your exams the coming week. Just a reminder about certain tips, things that we've discussed all this while, but it's always good to have a refresher and reminder of these things. And as a tutor, you always realize people don't really listen to you for 3-4 months, but it's these last 10-15 days that they really focus on things that you're saying. So hopefully these things you've heard about them, but just to reiterate, to point out the common areas, let's have a look at certain key exam tips for this exam. Just to give you an idea about the exam for those who might not be aware, or just to give you a refresher, you have question 1, which is based around consolidation, which is a 30 marker. Question 2 is based on ethics with accounting standards, 20 marks. Question 3 and 4 is the section B, where there are 25 marks each, and they focus on variety of issues including accounting standards, current issues, investor analysis, which I'll speak about briefly right now. Remember, the exam is 90% writing, explanations. There is an element of calculation, but that also is linked to explaining those calculations. That doesn't mean you don't do calculations. You of course do them, but focus on explaining those elements, teaching somebody what's going on when they say discuss. Please remember, this exam from the June 21 sitting onwards in our region here in the UAE is a computer-based exam. I would encourage you very, very strongly to practice on the ACCA practice platform, which the ACCA have made a lot of effort, put in a lot of content there. For our SPR exam, there are 4 past papers, 2 specimen papers, that is 6 papers, past papers that you can practice. Make sure you know how to practice on that platform, guys and girls, because that is how the exam is. It's bizarre when people say we'll figure it out in the exam. How would you figure it out when you've not practiced? Our aim is to practice, drill it in our brain, that practice platform. So when we do approach the exam, we know all our style, how to read the exhibits, how to resize the screen, should be answered on word processor, on the spreadsheet, and you're really good at it when the exam day comes up. Breaking up the question, if you see on my screen here, the first box that you see is focused on question 1. Now, with SBR, guys and girls, it's not about if you're looking for this video that, we get some few standards. That's not how the exam works. There are 23 accounting standards. I've provided some summary sheets for all of these standards. I would encourage you to strongly do that. However, within question 1, the focus is on consolidation. Make sure you're good with the goodwill calculation, the different methods of proportionate and fair value. You can talk about variety of cost of investments from deferred, contingent, and the differences within that. For a while, disposals has not been tested, whether it's disposals, partial disposal of subsidiary or full disposal, the derecognition, the profit and loss, very, very critical. And finally, there is something which people tend to ignore, the equity accounting for associates and JVs, which you should also look into. Question 2, which is the second box that you see, is focused on ethics. Now, when I say ethics, it's not about just rewriting these principles of integrity, which is being honest, objectivity, meaning free from biases, competent, meaning up to date with your knowledge, confidentiality, keeping sensitive information and dealing with it very, very carefully, and behaving in a professional manner. These are the 5 ethical principles. It's not about restating them, it's about applying them in this scenario. There will be unethical aspects happening in this scenario. You must address those, not just copy paste the scenario. Right from this scenario, what's going on? What is it that there are the competence issue? What are the biases there? Why are they trying to overstate, understate? What are the reasons behind that? Make sure you focus on the digital age article, which talks about the challenges as an accountant you face in terms of today's world of where you have all the blockchain technology through the distributed ledger technology. You have all big data, artificial intelligence. There's a lot of stuff, these fancy words and names, which as accountants, if you're not aware of, you need to at least get yourself competent enough or seek expert help so that you can be good at that. Remember, don't ignore the financial reporting standards, the FR standards that you have studied in the past, which focuses on the provisions, the PPs, the impairments, held for sales, which people tend to ignore, but don't do that. They are also part of your SBR exam. The final bit, which is on the last box, which is for question 3 and 4. Remember, there are a list of 10 topics we have discussed in class for current issues, from crowdfunding to COVID-19 pandemic impact on standards, through deferred tax changes or the exposure draft that we speak about, materiality that we have to think about, all of these aspects, along with the additional or alternative performance measures that companies like an Uber or a Facebook or a Zomato or Deliveroo would use. They would not only use just the profitability, they look into the number of users, the number of restaurants, the number of active users they have. So all of these things are alternative measures that you can read about. Section B, question 3 and 4 will be number 1 current issue. There will be some accounting standards. That is again case study. The case study will be a bit challenging. You'll have to apply the accounting standards that you've studied, from leases to pensions, to fair value measurement, to any of these standards. Don't learn just a list. You must go through the summary of these standards at least, so that you don't get stuck in the question. Finally, what I would like to say is, of course, wish you all the luck, all the effort that you've put in for so many weeks. Make sure you are very calm in the exam. Focus on time management. You have 2 minutes per mark. So a 30 marker should take you 60 minutes maximum, or 20 marker should take you 40 minutes maximum. Keep a lookout at your clock. Very, very importantly, the most important thing actually is to be calm, be relaxed. It's okay if you don't know things. It's fine if there are elements you miss out, you forget. Do not stress yourself. Do not put undue pressure on yourself. Yes, it's good to be a little bit anxious. It's good to have a bit of pressure to work hard, but not excessive. Keep it balanced. Do well. Stay positive in your thinking, and wish you all the very best of luck. Thank you for listening. Take care, and message me how your exam went.